A spacecraft is slowly gliding toward a gigantic wheel-shaped space station, both locked in a graceful cosmic waltz. In 2001, A Space Odyssey, director Stanley Kubrick presents this floating wheel in space, a perfect circle spinning against the starry void. It's a mesmerizing image, but it's more than just futuristic eye candy. It feels important, almost mythic. From Kubrick's cosmic wheel to an alien's inky orb in Arrival, filmmakers love circles. But why? What is it about circles that resonate so deeply in movies? Today we're exploring the deeper meaning of circle symbolism in film. How that simplest of shapes can evoke time, infinity, fate, and the very cycle of life. Stick around until the end, and I'll give you a list of lesser-known movies where circles play a prominent role. Circles have no beginning and no end. They're infinite. Philosophers like Friedrich Nietzsche even toyed with the idea that time itself might be a circle, repeating forever. TV's famed detective Ross Cole put it more darkly: time is a flat circle. Film storytellers have seized on this idea in both narrative and imagery. Take Denis Villeneuve's Arrival from 2016. The film's emotional climax reveals that its story isn't linear at all, but circular. The linguist Dr. Louise Banks realizes that her future and past exists in a loop. The alien heptapods communicate in circular written symbols, and by learning their language, Louise begins to experience time in a circular way too. When time is a circle, every moment is eternal. Circles also appear in how some stories are told. Many films literally come full circle in their narratives. Think of a movie that ends exactly where it began, or a time travel plot where events form a closed loop. In Rian Johnson's Looper and Harold Ramis's Groundhog Day, the characters are trapped in time cycles, reliving events until something breaks the circle. Christopher Nolan often plays with circular structures too. His Interstellar begins and ends with scenes of hope, a daughter's bedroom ghosts, and a cosmic rescue, neatly bookending its story so that the ending echoes the beginning. Nolan's films are built around a shape, the circle, embedding circles in everything from story structure to visuals. Why do this? Perhaps because circles evoke the feeling of destiny. When a story loops, it gives us a sense that events were fated to happen, that time isn't an arrow, but a wheel turning. It's satisfying in a way, as viewers will sense a pattern completed. The film scholar Joseph Campbell described the hero's journey itself as a circle. The hero leaves home, transforms through trials, and returns home changed. The mythic cycle. Modern writers like Dan Harmon even diagram story beats in a literal story circle. A circular narrative can impart a sense of unity and purpose, as if to say all things are connected. The end is the beginning. Not all cinematic circles are about time loops or sci-fi puzzles. Some symbolize the grand cycles of life and nature. Disney's The Lion King opens with an unforgettable image: a golden sun, the eternal circle in the sky, rising over Africa's savanna as the song Circle of Life plays. We see baby Simba lifted high atop Pride Rock, the sunlight forming a halo around him. This whole sequence is a celebration of the natural order, the circle of life, where birth, death, and rebirth are all part of an endless, harmonious cycle. In simple poetic terms, the film conveys how all creatures are connected in a round of existence greater than any one individual. It's a profoundly comforting philosophy, and it's literally framed by a celestial circle, the sun, that bookends Simba's journey from birth to kingship. Circles often represent wholeness and unity. In many cultures, a circle signifies oneness, eternity, the idea that life has no true beginning or end. No wonder it shows up in moments of completion or harmony in films. In James Cameron's Avatar, for instance, The Navi chant on a glowing circle around the Tree of Souls. The image of a ring or circle can feel like an embrace, enclosing characters in a symbol of protection or eternity. Sometimes the circle is a literal object with deep meaning. Consider the ring in The Lord of the Rings. It's just a small golden circle, but Tolkien gave it immense thematic weight. The One Ring's circular shape, unbroken, perfect, symbolizes an unending cycle of power and corruption. The only way to break the vicious cycle is to destroy the ring, to unmake the perfect circle in the fires of Mount Doom. And when it's finally destroyed, the spell is broken. The cycle of violence ends. Here, breaking a circle is an act of liberation, a way to start anew. Not all circles in movies are comforting. They can just as easily symbolize traps, vicious circles of fate or behavior that characters struggle to escape. Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo from 1958 famously uses a spiral, which is also a form of circle, to explore obsession, and in the story, Detective Scotty Ferguson becomes obsessed with a woman, Madeline, an obsession that loops back on itself. Notice the hairstyle Madeline wears, a tight spiral bun at the back of her head, like a target Scotty can't help but zero in on. As he later tries to remake another woman in Madeline's image, it's as if he's spiraling into the same pattern again. Critics have noted that those spiral motifs represent constantly coming back to the same memories, unable to escape their orbit. Madeline has become Scotty's center of gravity, the sun to his world. It's a visual metaphor for being trapped by longing and delusion. With each rotation of the spiral, Scotty loses a bit of sanity, a maddening loop of desire that can only end in tragedy. By the film's end, we feel that dizzying inevitability. Scotty was fated to repeat his mistake, trapped in a circle of his own making. The horror genre, too, loves its circles of doom. In The Ring from 2002, even the title signals a circle. A cursed videotape dooms anyone who watches it to die in 7 days, unless they copy the tape and show it to someone else. The curse is literally a vicious circle. It perpetuates itself in an endless loop of fear. The ring of the title slyly refers to the phone ring that comes after you watch the tape, but also the eerie image of a ring-shaped well opening that appears in the video, the last thing the vengeful ghost saw in life. The film's final revelation is chilling. Our heroine survives, but only by condemning someone else, ensuring the deadly circle continues unbroken. It's a powerful use of a circular symbol to represent entrapment. Once you're in the ring, you can't get out without pulling someone else in. In Darren Aronofsky's Requiem for a Dream from 2002, circles and cycles signal the downward spiral of addiction. The characters go through repetitive motions to feed their drug habits, literally going in circles chasing a high. One by one, their lives fall apart in a series of montages that loop the same steps. Take drugs, feel high, crash, over and over, with worsening consequences each time. The film's visual style emphasizes this repetition. At one point, the camera spins over our characters in a dizzying montage, showing how trapped they are. Circles can be cages as much as they can be unifying halos. Circles can also mark transformation, the end of one cycle and the start of another. Let's return to 2001: A Space Odyssey. After journeying across the cosmos, astronaut David Bowman encounters the mysterious monolith once more and undergoes a mind-bending metamorphosis. In the film's final moments, we see the Star Child, an otherworldly fetus floating in a translucent orb over Earth, gazing with wide eyes. This haunting image is a circle within a circle, the fetus curled in a spherical womb, and it signals that Bowman and humanity has been reborn. The story has come full circle, from the dawn of man with primitive apes to the dawn of a new cosmic child. Kubrick doesn't spell out the meaning, but it feels like a cycle completed and a new one beginning. Humanity in 2001 is enveloped in a 4 million-year-old circuit, coming around in a circle, trapped within a desire to get outside of ourselves. Bowman's transformation into the Star Child is that leap outside the old circle and evolution to a higher plane, perhaps breaking the cycle of our limitations. It's a moment both eerie and hopeful, conveyed through the simplest of shapes. The circle is a threshold. Step through and you're in a new story, a new loop. Ultimately, the circle's power in cinema comes from its universality. It's a shape we encounter everywhere. The sun and moon, the iris of an eye or a camera lens, a steering wheel, a clock face ticking through hours. Filmmakers use circles to tap into those deep meanings in our collective subconscious. A circle on screen can wordlessly suggest eternity, like a clock or halo. It can mean entrapment, like a maze or a ring of fire. And it can even mean completion, like a story ending where it began. There's also an emotional resonance to circles. Watching a character break out of a cycle can be triumphant. We cheer when they shatter the loop that held them back. Seeing a narrative come full circle can be deeply satisfying. And sometimes circles confront us with tough questions. If everything repeats, do our choices matter? Arrival asked this in such a moving way. Knowing the joy and pain ahead, Louise embraces her life's circular path anyway, finding meaning in each moment precisely because it will return. In the end, circle symbolism in movies reminds us that life itself is cyclical. History repeats. We fall into patterns, we seek renewal. Films hold a mirror up to these patterns, sometimes to challenge them, sometimes to celebrate them. So the next time you spot a circle in a movie, be it a planet, a ring, a spinning coin, or a time loop, take a moment to ponder what it represents. Is it a promise of eternity, a trap, a transformation? What story is coming round again? And as this video essay comes full circle in its close, I'll leave you with a simple thought. The stories we tell, the lives we lead, they're all part of that great circle. Despite knowing the journey and where it leads, we embrace it and we welcome each moment of it. And as promised, here is the list of lesser-known movies where circles play a prominent role. Coherence from 2013, a low-budget sci-fi mindbender about overlapping realities during a dinner party. The group keeps returning to the same house. Subtle camera movements and spatial loops emphasize repetition and cosmic recursion. Time Crimes from 2007, a Spanish sci-fi thriller where a man accidentally loops back in time trying to fix events. Events spiral out of control in a tight, inevitable loop. Visual circles appear in technology, costumes, and narrative structure. The Endless from 2017, two brothers return to a cult-like community stuck in time loops. Repeating loops are literally visualized as circular time boundaries. Sunsets, film reels, celestial cycles, and camera pans reinforce the trap. Triangle from 2009, a woman caught in a Bermuda Triangle-like time loop aboard a mysterious ship. The ship's architecture, clocks, and recursive events are circular and dizzying. Ink from 2009, indie fantasy where beings from different dimensions battle over a child's soul. Time isn't linear in this dreamlike world. Circular dream sequences, looping paths, and round objects highlight fate and sacrifice. I Origins from 2014, a molecular biologist falls in love with a woman who has unusual eyes. Eyes that may hint at reincarnation. Eyes are the main motif, circular mystical portals to the soul. The camera often focuses on pupils like cosmic mandalas. Aniara from 2018, A Swedish sci-fi film about a spaceship veering off course, drifting endlessly. The ship's artificial environments simulate the circular routines of Earth. The plot becomes a metaphor for the circle of meaninglessness in space. Under the Skin from 2013, a mysterious young woman seduces lonely men in the evening hours in Scotland. However, events lead her to begin a process of self-discovery. The circular void where victims sink into black nothingness is hypnotic and terrifying, symbolizing the emptiness of the human condition. Last and First Men from 2020. This haunting black and white film pairs otherworldly narration with brutalist architecture. Circular forms dominate the imagery. Satellite dishes, celestial orbs, monuments, hinting at cosmic cycles and forgotten civilizations. Upstream Color from 2013. A hypnotic abstract film about identity, connection, and nature. Cycles of life, parasitism, trauma, and recovery, all rendered with elliptical editing, circular movement, and refrains. Beyond the Black Rainbow from 2010. A visual-heavy sci-fi horror film, dripping with atmosphere and retrofuturism. Portals, drug-induced visions, and control mechanisms are all stylized with pulsating circles and lenses. November from 2017, a visually surreal Estonian fantasy about love, folklore, and death. The moon, harvest wheels, spinning tools, and religious ritual all emphasizes cycles of nature, death, and rebirth. If you liked this video, please press the like button and also make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Catch you in the next loop.